Evening, guys. I hope I'm audible. I'll just finish adding a few slides, and then we can start. Am I audible, guys? Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. Cool. So for 2 or 3 minutes, I would introduce myself because I think we have a few more people who have joined today. So I'll just give a quick introduction about myself and what I do currently and what I've done in the past. My name is Charit. I've been working in the digital marketing industry for the last 8 odd years, more than 8 years, I would say. Three of which I've worked with Amazon Prime Video as a digital marketing manager. I've handled their Google ads, primarily the US markets, and at the end of my career, I started handling the MENA region. I started heading the MENA region, I could say. MENA, which stands for Middle East and North Africa. So that was my primary job description over there. I used to manage a team of 7 people, um, and fortunately, I got a chance to work with such a big organization. Even though I haven't completed my uh, post graduation or MBA of any such kind, I still used to handle people who came from IIM Ahmedabad, ISP, and IIM Bangalore. So I had a few people in my team. So I believe not having that kind of education is not exactly a barrier. If you have the knowledge, or I would say if you have the curiosity to learn, anything is possible. So apart from that, I have also worked with a pharmaceutical company, a UK based pharmaceutical company, headed their digital marketing team back in 2018. I worked over there for about a year or so, and prior to that, I used to work for IFB Industries. So IFB Industries is a company basically into consumer appliances and consumer durables, more like what Godrej does. Um, so I was the one of the early members in the digital marketing team as well when they started off their digital marketing journey. So my journey in terms of digital marketing, I have not actually done any kind of course because back then, I would say in 2014, when I actually graduated, there was no such ed tech kind of thing, not in exactly in India, I would say. But yeah, so there were a lot of people, more or less like Neil Patel or Brian Dean. So I started learning from their blogs or their videos, and so majorly the things that I learned was through all these YouTuber or bloggers or digital marketers, I could say. Also, the best part was that because my initial journey kicked off with a company that was actually trying to set up their digital marketing team, I got to exactly learn how to fail initially. So my journey actually started as a, I would say, we failed a lot of campaigns, and from that we actually learned how to optimize our campaigns, or how to get better in terms of the online world, I could say. So yeah, apart from that, I would say I had also started my own digital marketing institute, an offline one, back in 2019. We trained about 2,000 people, and we had about, I would say, 10 odd instructors from the likes of like Google, Facebook. I guess shows. Am I audible to you guys? Because it shows that. Am I audible, guys? This show. Okay, cool. I paused right at that time. Okay, so if at any point of time you can't hear me, just let me know. Is it better now? guys? Okay, cool, cool. So I believe it is because I'm in my hometown right now. I'm not actually, working. I've taken, yeah, I believe, so really sorry for that. I'll try to be very slow. And if you have any doubts or, certain things that you don't understand, you can type it in the chat. I would love to actually pick it up from there. All right. So apart from that, so yeah, so we trained a few thousand people, and but we had to shut it down. Yeah, I will. Mohammed. Today, I'm pretty much aware of that thing, so I will keep on checking that constantly. So yeah, so apart from that, I would say we had to shut that operation down because I didn't really have that kind of business acumen or running a business. I was just 23 years old, started new thing. So yeah, but we had a good stint. I would say we were one of the early businesses into digital marketing training in Mumbai, I could say. And apart from that, I also run a digital marketing agency with one of my friend. He works for Google. So yeah, so we have worked for about I would say 35 odd clients as of now. So yeah, so the things that I would share over here would be all from the experience that I have had throughout my career. It is not as good as some expert or guru in the field, but whatever I've learned, I think would be much more valuable uh, to someone who is just getting started, or let's say who has just completed a year or so in this specific field. So yeah, so that is what we'll talk about. We'll talk about three major aspects today. The first one would be first 60 days of any Google ads. What is the usual scenario? What should you, as a performance marketer, should focus on? We'll talk about that, and later on, we'll talk about some optimizing techniques. So some tricks and tips about how to run your Google ads, or you could say um, some tricks after you start your Google Ads. So how do you optimize it? We'll talk about that. And later on, I'll share a checklist which I've actually curated. So that would actually come handy whenever you start your, Google ad, a career in Google Ads, or let's say into performance marketing or any thing related to Google Ads. It is more or less like a checklist that you just need to follow, and it has all the things that you need to have in order to start and scale any kind of Google ad, right? So let's get started. Just 1 minute. Okay, cool. So the first topic, like I said, is going to be first 60 days of any Google ads. Okay. Uh, so yeah, so obviously, I mean, we sign an NDA, so I can't really show the current account that is being handled. But this is an old client, hence I have taken some screenshots for you guys to better understand the purpose that we'll be serving this for. Okay. Yeah, the first 60 days of any Google ad campaign are the most important, especially true if it's a new account from a client that you've just signed, or if you've just started your journey as a freelancer. Because the client will be testing to see you can actually build the business using Google Ads. So today I'm going to break down with you precisely what is happening over the first 60 days of any new campaign, and what are the core aspects of the Google ad algorithm. All right. And so a few things that you need to look out for, and what optimizations that you need to make, because by knowing these two elements, I would say you can ensure that your campaign is going to see success. So yeah, next is the reality. I would say is that most Google ads, I would say, um, days before they start to become profitable. All right. So it's a very basic thing that it would take at least 60 days to actually become, I would say, that have seen success right from the very first day. If I have to give you an example, Okay. So is it audible now, guys? Okay, cool, cool. I'll try to reset my internet. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just reset it. Guys, is it better? Just type in yes if you can hear me clearly. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah. So I would say the reality is that most Google ads that ad campaigns that we run, it will take at least 60 days before they actually start becoming profitable. Now that I've seen many campaigns that have seen success right from the day one, but a lot of campaigns normally I would say on an average they take 60 days. Some of the campaigns that I've run successfully, I would say, who actually started to show results, great results in the first day itself, were, I would say, I could remember one great example was Apollo Hospitals. The moment that Apollo Hospitals actually launched their app, we were the one who actually handled that. And in just a span of 1 week, we got about 10,000 installs, app installs I'm talking about. And the reason is particularly because a lot of people already know Apollo as a major brand. Hence, it was very easy for us to get that kind of conversion. But yeah, just speaking in general, it takes about an average of 60 days for actually the campaigns to become successful. All right. So yeah, I would say. So yeah, so the like I said, a few campaigns that I've seen had seen some great success in the initial first day itself. But some campaigns can also take 3 or 4 months before they actually start to see any kind of success. And when I say success, it means profits and conversion for the business by putting together all those campaigns. Um okay. So yeah, so this is whatever we are learning is going to be purely focused on how to actually make sure you don't do any mistakes, any rookie mistakes, and how can you make sure that you average, I would say, which is about 60 days, you reach profitability through your Google ads. Okay. So yeah, today I want to, I would say, give you a breakdown of what is happening over those 60 days in your new Google Ads campaign. Over the first 14 days of your new campaign, the main thing that is happening is that the Google uh, is just completing its learning phase. And what I mean by the learning phase is, it's basically, Google algorithm is looking at your campaign versus your competitors campaign and trying to work out, firstly, will your ads even be clicked, and I would say, and then once those clicks starts to come through, the Google algorithm starts to work out that which are the best time to show your ad, which are the best keywords to trigger your ads, and what are the best people to show your ads. And so all these things happen in the first 14 day itself. So have you guys heard about the learning phase that happens in Google algorithm? Are you guys aware of that? If you are, no. Okay. Anyone who is aware of what is learning phase in Google ads? Okay, cool. So when you start running an ad for the very first time, your ad gets your ad goes into approval stage. Okay, so once your ad gets approved, it goes into the learning stage. And what this learning stage can be even for an hour, or it can stretch up to 14 days, a maximum of 14 days. And during this period, the Google algorithm is trying to understand what your ad is about, and who your competitors are, what kind of audience should be, you know, should be shown your ad to, what is the kind of intent your ad can, get along with, and all these different things. Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay, so yeah, so initially in this time frame, I would say in the initial 14-day period, like I said, your impression in the learning phase, your impressions and clicks over the first couple of days will drastically increase. Okay, and it is purely because of the reason that the algorithm is trying to understand what your ad is about. Okay, and then I would say they start to drop over a second week of when your second week of the campaign starts. And between that, I would say between 14 to 28-day period, the algorithm starts to get a bit deeper. Okay, so once again, the algorithm tries to find out some more information about the best performing keywords in your campaign, and what are the best search terms to trigger your ads for. And more likely to see, I would say, more likely to see, the algorithm also starts to look out at what are the best performing headlines, description, and ad copies. And it is at this point the algorithm will start to look at what are the best audience and demographics that see results like click and conversions. Okay, so initially in the so basically what it means that in the initial part of your ads, I would say 14-day period, it is just going to be maximum of 14 days. It is just going to be in the learning phase even after you run your ads completely. Okay, so it is not that you start running your ads and it will just get approved and your ads would be shown to your targeted audience. It doesn't really happen like that. It goes into the learning phase, and maybe your ads would be shown to the right kind of audience, maybe it won't. And in this phase, what happens is the number of impressions, meaning the number of people that actually see your ads, will drastically increase, and so will the clicks. Okay, so initially in this period you will actually spend a lot. Okay, I would say not spend, actually you will just I would say the algorithm actually spends a lot in order to understand things. Or I would say, for us as a business, it is more like an expense without getting any kind of major benefit. But from the algorithm's point of view, it is just mandatory, so that once that phase is completed, then the kind of audience that you will get on your ads would be much better in intent and would be the most potential audience on Google. Okay, I would say. And at this point, at the 28th day mark, where your Google Ads managers start to make your first round of optimization, because up until at this point, your main optimization has been focused completely on keyword search. Okay, so yeah, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. So like I was saying, at this point, it might I would say it's also when you might start to introduce some automated bidding strategies like maximize conversion and maximize conversion value. And then throughout this 60-day period, where we'll take a deep dive fuller, looking at the kind of audience and demographics, trying to work out what is the best niche for people in terms of the demographics and around their age and income, and also their audience in terms of what their interests are, and their search habits, and breaking down to the categories that are going to give you highest level of clicks. Okay, so so this is basically I would say summary of how could it be done and what are the stages. So more of a theoretical thing. So I would say right now, let us just jump into some of the screenshots that I have, so I can show you what it looks like in a real account. And what we've got over here is an account that was started in June last year, and we are looking at the first 60 days of the results. Okay, so the on the screen you can see over here, this is specifically the 60-day results of the ad campaign I'm talking about. And what you can see over here is the impressions. As we say, they've picked up. Okay, over here impressions are pretty high. Okay, and they've started to drop over here, as you guys can see. So once it picks up over here, it starts to drop at after a certain point of time. Okay, so normally you will consider this drop as, a very important aspect in your Google Ads campaign, because this is also considered to be a learning phase where you make a lot more changes, and then the Google algorithm actually goes into a bit more learning phase again. Okay, so yeah, so what you can see over here, like I already discussed, so this drop is also very important in order to have a successful uh, Google ad campaigns after a period of the learning phase. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, yeah. So and then when we overlay the clicks, you can see once again that we see a very sharp rise, and then there's a drop. Okay, so this graph actually, if you go to see, it is purely because of the learning phase that we have. Okay, um, 1 minute. Okay, cool. Yeah, so over here you can see the number of impression. In blue you can see the number of impressions, and in red you can see the number of clicks. Okay, and a lot of this coincided with us really working heavy to increase that click-through rate over, I would say, initially in the first couple of weeks, which was ranging about, I would say, 5%. We got it to a peak of 12% over here. So initially it was very less, and over here, the peak yellow thing, yellow is for click-through rate. Yellow defines click-through rate over here, and over here you can see it peaked at 12%. Okay, so yeah, the next slide, as you can see, we have seen more conversion increasing as we go along. Okay, so over here green signifies conversion. As along you can see that conversion at times dropped down significantly, but it started getting even higher and higher. And along the lines, if I show you what happened actually after the learning phase. Yeah, so what actually happened after the learning phase, you will actually get a pretty good idea about what happens after this. Okay, so yeah. So now, when I just broaden this out to a longer view, you guys can see that we are looking at the first 4 months. Okay, so over here, the data that you can see on your screen is basically for the first 4 months, and you can see that our impressions have stabilized. Okay, so over here you guys can see the impressions have pretty much stabilized. It is no more a pretty much up and down kind of thing. So yeah, and it started out, I would say, on a very higher scale initially, as you can see over here. And but yeah, later on it got stabilized. But also I want you guys to understand that more impressions doesn't equal to good number of conversions. Okay, okay, so simultaneously more clicks doesn't really guarantee more conversions. So we'll talk about what actually conversions signifies. On the next slide, if we see, even the number of clicks started increasing once we started having or started optimizing our ads. Okay, next you guys can see the click-through rate also peaked. Okay, so this is more or less like a 4 month thing that I already said. So initially we started off with 5.5, and by the end we had a CTR of about 8.80. Okay, an average of 8.80, but I believe it was steadily increasing by every month. Okay, the same with our conversions, I would say. Even the conversions over here increased significantly. So over a period of 4 months, we had about 17 conversions, which was pretty great, I would say. The same, we started off with 23 conversion over here, and by the end of 4 months, we had about 176 conversions. Okay, and while that was happening, the Google algorithm, learning and our own optimization work together hand in hand to give, or I would say, to drive down to this cost of conversion, which I would say. Oh yeah, over here you can see the cost of conversion. It actually peaked at one point of time. Okay, it peaked to about $39, and the average overall I would say would be 28.69. But as you can see, the cost of conversion also kept on lowering. Okay, right now I'm just trying to show you guys what happened, and after this we'll actually talk about how it actually happened. Okay, and now give me 1 minute. Yeah, so now I want you to finally I would want to take you finally to through this where I want you to give a good look at the change history. Over here you can see the change history that is happening over the period of time. Okay, so over here you can see there has been quite quite a graph, ups and downs, you can see. Okay, um, this will show you all the changes that were made at different points. Okay, and you can see at this time, on the blue line has been going down because we have been lowering those individual conversion cost. Okay, and the red line has been increasing, since there has been increase in the total number of conversion. Okay, so the cost has been lowered and the total number of conversion. So over here you can see clearly. So cost of conversion is defined by blue color, and red defines uh, the conversion value. Okay, so the cost of per conversions started dropping while the number of conversions started increasing significantly. Okay, yeah. Next thing if I talk about is just give me 1 minute. Okay, and then when we moved into that 28-day period where we started to make some further changes, you can see that we added some bidding techniques over here. Over here on this screen, I want to show you guys that this actually signifies whatever changes you have made over the this specific time frame. Okay, so we have selected a 4-month time frame, and you can see that a total of 455 changes were made, out of which about 11 changes were made in terms of the ad, 30 changes were made in terms of the bidding technique, 3 changes were made in terms of the budget. The maximum number of changes were done in terms of keywords. Okay, we added a lot of keywords, we added a lot of negative keywords, we removed a lot of keywords that were not working for us. Over here you can see we never actually changed our audience because we were very specific of that. Okay, so yeah, 1 minute. So yeah, over here you can see, and then when we fast forward, you can see that once again we are doing some more split tests. Okay, you can see over here. So there are a lot of changes done after the 28-day period. Okay, so once we reach that 28-day period, we started making a lot of changes over here, and so yeah, give me one more minute. Okay, cool. So this is track a particular keyword is working or not. Good, very good question. If you want to see that specific thing, I'll actually share my screen. Um, Give me 1 minute. I'll just log in. Let me just log in, and then I'll share my screen. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. So yeah, so this is a basic, um, thing that I picked up as a freelancer um, long back. I think a couple of years ago, just because that business owner was my friend. So yeah, so the question was, how do you track particular keywords are working or not? Okay, so this is the Google dashboard. This is how it looks like if once you start running ads. Okay, so here you can see the number of clicks, number of impressions, the number of amount of money that you spent, the number of conversions. Okay, so this was, I would say, a fair thing that we achieved. And so yeah, over here on the left hand side, you get to see keywords. So once I click on this, so it takes me to this term. Okay, so I click on search terms. Okay, okay, maybe this, because this ad has been there for too long, I believe. But yeah, so just to answer your question, if you just go to keywords and if you go to search keywords over here, you'll get specific amount of data that this is the keyword. Let's say a keyword is basically, let's say, Apple iPhone 14 Pro. Okay, so that's the keyword. So what were the number of impressions, what were the number of clicks, what was the click through rate, all those data you will find it over here. Okay, so accordingly you can come to a conclusion that if that specific keyword is not getting a lot of clicks, or not specifically getting a lot of click through rate, so you can come to a conclusion accordingly. All right. Mm, yeah. So this brings us to the next part, which is Google ad optimization, which is something that I would want to show you guys. Okay. Mm, so yeah, uh, you know left it I would say, left to its own devices, Google ads will actually spend your budget much faster than most people give up on their new year's resolutions. But I would also say you could have the best copy, a very amazing landing page, and audience are just flowing in, but still you'll be, at times you'll be stuck in that journey of running Google ads. Okay, so sustaining, I would say, sustaining in terms of digital ads, specifically Google ads, can be very frustrating at times. Okay, um, if you're not proving anything, let's say if you are a freelancer, or if you're running your own agency, or just assume that you are just working for someone as the digital, or specifically as performance marketer, if you're not proving anything, then chances of you losing that opportunity or even that job would be much higher. Okay, so these are a few things or techniques, I would say, which if you try and understand, I have actually made sure I come up with a very basic understanding. If you have these things sorted out in your mind, and you have it already in your kitty, then going for interviews, or I would say much more than interviews, it is going to be a very you know great experience that you would have even while running those ads. Okay, because these somewhere or the other, I would say, make or break a Google ad. Okay, so these are some Google ad optimization techniques. First of all, we'll try to understand what exactly is Google ads optimization. Okay, to put it simply, Google ads optimization is the process of looking at your ad account data and making changes to ensure optimal performance. I would say because of how quickly the digital marketing environment changes, the setting builds and the tests that upheld optimal performance last month or even last week might actually be working against you now. Okay, so it clearly means that at times what the book knowledge is or what the theory actually states won't really work, because by the time you are actually performing those ads, the whole dynamics would change. Okay. um, for example, one of your initial keywords might have performed really well for the first month, but when you actually look out for the data in the second month, you will see that it is not driving, good results. Or I would say it is actually driving up your cost per conversion, okay, or cost per acquisition. So as a part of your optimization regime, I would say you decide to pause that keyword so that you don't spend well. For example, there are two keywords. One, let's say, is digital marketing course, and the other one is uh, best digital marketing course. Okay. Initially, in the first few months, the keyword digital marketing course fetched very great results. Okay. But later on, what started happening was a lot of people actually started visiting, using that keyword, visited your landing page but bounce back. Okay, so you actually came to a conclusion that specific keyword over here in this case, which is digital marketing course, isn't really working for you, even though it worked great for you in the first month. So what a smart move over here would be to actually pause that campaign. Okay, so this is, I would say, one basic thing if you want to understand what Google ad optimization means. Okay, so significantly you make some changes throughout the ad campaign's life journey, and those changes are very important for your ad campaign to run very into that profitable uh, goal, or to reach profitability. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so the question is, what task can you do to optimize your campaign? Okay, what should you exactly look at? Knowing what to look at, when to look at, and how to interpret and form solutions around, what can what you're seeing can be one of the most challenging things to do. All right. I would say, honestly speaking, it is also challenging for experienced users at times. Okay, so what to look at? So let's say you basically you know how to run or how to actually initiate a Google ad campaign. You do that very well, the way that you've been taught, and then the data starts pouring in. So what do you do now? Okay, so that is what we'll talk about. And there are many elements that you need to look at in terms of Google ads. Different elements like metrics, like cost per click, what is the click through rate, impressions, and then cost per mile, cost per impression. Okay. um, Different bid adjustments, different search terms or settings. The list goes on and on. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll narrow that down in a bit, and focus, and we need to focus majorly on the optimizations that maximizes your time spent on the account. Okay, so I would say you don't want to be wasting hours and looking out for optimization that actually don't really make sense for your account. Okay, so a lot of people might say that cost per click should be low, and impressions should be lower, click through rate should be high, conversion should be higher, something like that. But that actually, apart from the fact that conversion should be higher, apart from that fact, I don't think for every business it is going to be common. Okay, ultimately the most useful optimization tend to be those that push the account for more results that are valuable to you as a business. Like I would say leads or purchases, you've got a handful of those that can help. Okay, so yeah, on to the next slide. So yeah, so the first technique is increase expansion opportunities using research and PPC tools. Okay, so I believe I also spoke about this yesterday, but just to give you guys a quick gist, I would say, yes, conducting keyword research can be a very tedious process, but doing your due diligence can be worthwhile with the tools available to us. I would say. The best tool in terms of I would want you guys to answer. So what is the best free tool in terms of researching keywords for Google ads? So for you, what is for you, what do you think is the best tool for researching keyword ads, researching Google keywords? SEM Rush, I'm talking about free ones. Okay, Keyword Planner. Anyone else wants to give it a try? Aref free. I believe Aref has a free version for a very limited time. Keyword Planner or Keyword Generator. Keyword Planner is the correct answer. Okay, so Keyword Planner is the best tool that you can have in your kitty for researching the keywords in order to run Google Ads for free of cost. Also, so it is very important for us to also understand how do softwares like Aref or SCM Rush or maybe Spyfu, all these softwares, how do they run basically? Okay, so at a certain point of time, so currently if you go to see, Google does not really release what kind of changes it has made to its algorithm. Frequently it doesn't do, but there was a certain point in Google's I would say company's career wherein they actually shared how exactly their algorithm works. So it was a very brief time. Okay, and that was the time. Yeah, Uber Suggest is also a good tool, but yeah, I would say not one of the best tools. I mean, it offers for free, of course, 2 or 3 searches, but yeah. So like I was saying, during that time frame, what happened was a lot of these businesses like Neil Patel's Uber Suggest, Aref, SCM Rush, Spyfu, all these businesses took information that from that specific thing that Google has released, and they released their own uh, metrics. Own software using those metrics. So all these things, if you go to see Uber Suggest, Aref, SCM Rush, they work on the same thing as the algorithm, Google algorithm works. Okay, so yeah, so we need to understand that although these different softwares work according to Google's algorithm, but the king will always remain what Google has in their system, which is going to be Google Keyword Planner. Okay, so if anyone asks you what is the best free way to research your keywords for Google ads, I'm talking about specifically. Okay, so the answer has to be Google Keyword Planner. Okay, so yeah, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, so you have to also bear in mind that the data collected on keywords in this tool is based on average. Okay, so whatever you guys see over here, whatever I'm talking about, specifically the monthly searches or the amount, the highest amount or the lowest amount that has been bidded by by your competitors in that specific niche, it is all an average. Okay, so you need to make sure that you understand it very perfectly, that this is not exactly going to be that number, so it is all an average. Okay, so yeah, but it will actually tell you an average search volume to give an high to low end, that that so that you can actually estimate your cost per click, which is actually a very great thing to start off with. Okay, over a period of time, even this data would seem I would say, if you run your Google ad for about a year, okay, the same company, the same client, I would say the same product, if you're running ads differently for that specific product for a year or so, you would the data that you would collect would be much better than this keyword planner itself, much better definitely than Uber Suggest or Ahref or SEMrush for sure. But this thing, I would say somewhere or the similar, the data that you collect, it would be much more closer to this. Okay. So yeah, so now I would say if you're looking for a research tool that has a little more in depth and has a handful of PPC spy tools. Okay. So do you guys know what exactly I'm talking about? What is that software or tool that you can use to um, spy on your competitors' Google Ads? Have you guys heard about it? Okay, so there's a software called SpyFu. Okay, has anyone heard about SpyFu? Okay, Mohammed, I believe you're already working in a digital marketing industry or in this specific niche, because you already know a few things here and there, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I'll give you a quick gist of what SpyFu does. Okay, so SpyFu is a great tool for you to understand what your competitors are doing in terms of Google Ads. What keywords are they, actually running their ads for what keywords they are getting a lot of clicks for. But just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So SpyFu can show you keywords your competitors are targeting that you might not be targeting, and it can, I would say, even show you what your competitors are doing with their most successful keywords. Okay. I would say SpyFu's data is based on averages. Averages, and it won't show you which keywords are actually converting for your competitors. It will just give you a quick glimpse. So yeah, so I have the thing over here as well. So yeah, so this is how it will look like. So all keywords, monthly kicks, core keywords, but it is an amazing tool to have in your uh, kitty, I would say, while running Google Ads. Okay. The next thing is but yeah, just to also let you guys know, this tech tool, I would say, is it's for it's obviously paid. I'm not very sure about the amount, but this tool is a step higher or a step better than the free Google keyword planner or SEMrush or Ahref in terms of Google Ads only. I'm talking about. Okay. So obviously if you work for a company or let's say an agency, they would definitely have this tool. uh, they will definitely will be using this for running Google Ads. All right. Next is we talk about this gaining more control. The next part is gaining more control using SKAG. Okay. So single keyword ad group. So single keyword ad group. Okay. So anyone knows what this actually means? Okay. Anyone wants to give it a try, that what could this actually mean? What does single, so the name actually suggests the whole definition itself. Yeah, so I'll actually explain it. So single keyword ad group means that uh, there's only one single keyword that you're targeting per ad group. Okay. So this is one of the most advanced ways where much more experienced performance marketers, or how these experienced performance marketers run their ads. Okay. So I would say, what's the best way to gain the most control over your Google Ads campaign? So that the answer is going to be, so if somebody, obviously, if in interviews, if somebody asks you what is the best way to get more control over your Google Ads campaign, and if you answer single keyword ad group, then 50% off, kind words. Not really. No, no. So yeah, so over here, if you guys see, So if we use different kinds of keywords in one single ad group, everyone knows what an ad group is somebody over here who doesn't understand what an ad group is? I'll try to explain that again. Okay, cool. So yeah, so if you have different types of keywords in, let's say in that one single ad group, this is how the ad might look like. Okay, so your real food for cats and dogs, your recipe of okay. So the algorithm would be pretty much confused about what exactly your keyword is about and what exactly your keyword should be targeted to. Okay, so in that case, single keyword ad group actually comes into handy. Okay. I would say you basically set up one keyword per ad group for your campaign, and then make a set of those ads in this, So yeah, so the best part of having a single keyword ad group is that you can have a limited set of keywords. Over here you can see we have used specific thing. Please ignore the last one. This is a pretty old, I would say, image probably. So this over here you can see the phrase match and exact match. So we use just one keyword, and the best part is the headlines that you use, the description that you use, and even the landing page that you create would be all in sync. Okay, that will help you to increase your quality score. And the people who actually visit this or use this specific keyword, and if you have or that same kind of offering, imagine what kind of boom that will give you in terms of a conversion. It is more or less like, I'll give you a very good example over here. uh, so yeah, so let's say let's say I am looking out for an insurance for my parents who are senior citizens. Okay, and there are three people who are selling insurances. One, Akshay, who is selling insurance in general. Just let's say car insurance. Okay, Akshay is selling car insurance. Kumari is selling life insurance, but she's not selling life insurance. Akshay is selling car insurances. Kumari is selling life insurances, but Kumari is not selling insurances for senior citizens. But Nafisa is selling insurances only for people who are above 60, that is senior citizen. So even though Akshay, Kumari, and Nafisa both, all three of them are running ads on Google for the keyword called insurance, will I go to Akshay's website and buy his car insurance? Of course not. Will I go to Kumari's restaurant insurance website and buy insurance from her? Obviously not, because she's not even offering that. So it clearly makes sense that I'll go to Nafisa's website and buy insurance from her. The reason is, even though Akshay and Kumari are targeting the keyword insurance, my intent is purely very different than what these guys have to offer. Okay, so it is more or less like, I would say, long tail keywords. Okay, so always make sure, as an advanced technique, I would say, to have a single keyword ad group, so that you can have specific keywords in that group, only one specific keyword, obviously phrase match and exact match, and then the headline would be very similar to what you're offering. The description would be very similar to what you're offering. Even the landing page would be optimized in such a way that whatever you're offering, whatever the client has, or I would say the user has in or her mind, they will land on your page. And that is going to be the most lovely thing for you, because I would say the potential customer would eventually convert very easily into a paying customer. Okay, next we have is match your intent to your CTA. So at the end, what I'll do is I'll type in all the major points, and at the end, of course, I would share the what should I say, checklist for running your or I would say optimizing your keyword plan. I will also share that. So yeah, so next one is match your intent to your CTA. Okay, so at different temperatures of uh, stages where your conversion cycles happen. Okay, so over here you can see the conversion intent is always proportional to the hotness. Okay, hotness or the warmness the client is. Okay, so there are different types of user or potential customer: hot, warm, and cold. So the more warmer or the more hotter they are, the more possibility of them converting. Okay, so yeah, so what or how can we use our own CTAs in order to do that? I'll explain. So yeah, so if you're running a display ad, okay, so the audiences that you will get through display ads would be much more, I would say, the quality of those audiences would be much more lower compared to an audience which actually comes through Google search. Okay, searching through Google. I'm not talking about search partners. I'm specifically talking about Google search engine. Okay, the audience that you will get through Google search engine would be much more higher intended versus somebody who has just landed on your landing page through display ad. Okay, so you need to make sure that the CTA that you use for those customers which come through display is very different than the customers who come through the search ads. Okay, so here you can see a few things that you can use in terms of display ad. Okay, initially you can give them some coupons, you can have the checklist or a cheat list kind of thing. Next you can offer them some toolkit. Next then you can offer them some kind of calendar. If you guys have heard about social samosa, they come up with their social media calendar as a way to get leads. And then whatever kind of programs they are conducting, maybe some kind of paid programs through some celebrity guest, they'll send you an email because they already have your data. Okay, next podcast. Okay, so these are a few things that you can use as a CTA or as an attraction for your clients coming through display ads. Okay, this is much more for the warmer audience, like quiz or coupons or video course or live demos, tickets, giveaway, ebook, t-shirt, demo, trial, case study, or webinar are much more for the audience that are warmer in nature. Okay, initially what you do is you collect, let's say if you're running just a display ad. Okay, you run a display ad, and while running the display ad you offer these elements. Okay, nothing more than this, because the intent is not as strong as it should be. Okay, once you have these data, obviously you will ask for their email IDs or their names. You need to make sure that you ask for the most minimum amount of data. Maybe for me, if it was there, I would just ask for the email IDs. Okay, and in return I'll give them these details. Okay, once I have the email IDs, next thing I'll do is, the best part is they already know my brand now. Okay, the next part, because I have the email IDs, I'll do this. Okay, I'll send them some request for webinars or maybe case studies, trials, all these things. Okay, so once this stage is complete, I'll have, at the end of this stage, I'll have their email ID, which I already had at this stage. I'll have their names, I'll have their phone numbers, because in this stage I'll need more than just email IDs. Once that is done, I'll move to this stage wherein they actually just more than knowing my brand, they have actually interacted with my brand. Okay, over here. Next is, I could directly sell them. So be it my consultation, be it just asking for a quote, or being directly giving or offering purchase, or trial period demo. Obviously it over here, it mix and matches, it depends on your kind of product that you're offering. Okay, so this is where I would say somewhere or other you need to understand that even though they are landing to your page, doesn't mean the intent is clear. According to the intent, you should give them the offers. Okay, next thing is, focus on metrics and KPIs for your big business goal. Okay, so yeah, so many of us, I would say, get we tend to get obsessed with micrometrics and forget about the bigger picture. We shouldn't really fall into this trap and get stuck into micrometrics like quality score, impression, CTR list, and the list can go on. Sure, I would say these metrics are very important, but if they aren't helping your overall macro metric, which is actually getting a sale, because the main business goal is to sell something. Okay, if you are getting a lot of clicks, or let's say getting a lot of impression, getting a lot of CTR, the CPC is lower, but you're not actually making a sale, then all these metrics are not actually a sign of real progress for your PPC campaigns. Rather than focusing on the nitty gritty details, you simply need to ask yourself, is your PPC campaign generating more revenue and making you more money? Or ask yourself, are you making more money relative to how much you're actually spending on your ads? So yeah, basically speaking, return is your return on ad spend much better? Okay, just give me one more minute. So yeah, so whatever efforts you put, you need to make sure that your biggest goal should be optimizing your ads in terms of whatever your target goal is, which is ultimately conversion. Okay, just one more minute. Okay, so yeah, so is the effort you're putting in your account working towards more conversion, which are becoming more sales? So a conversion for an e-commerce is very different than a conversion for a marketing agency or a consulting agency. The reason is, for an e-commerce, if you buy the product, it is called directly as a convert because money is pouring in. But if you book a consulting call, so that is also counted as a conversion. But does that actually get in money? It is just a consultation call. It can or actually not get converted into a paying client. So even though both are conversions, it is actually very different. So let's say you're working on conversion over here. So make sure that your efforts are worth in the end, and you focus on the big goal while you optimize. And let's say if you're just into lead generation, like I said, okay, and your profit isn't actually I would say isn't really trackable through Google Ads. So how do we actually track our metrics when it comes to lead generation? So when I would say, when looking at sales relative to conversions, what you can do is you can set up an offline conversion tracking. So again, this is more of an advanced trick, but you can also set up an offline tracking metric, wherein whatever data is generated through Google Ads in the form of conversions, you can actually keep a good track of that. And then that data is also updated with the Google Ad, so that it is cross verified. That let's say you got 100 conversions through Google Ad, but only 10 of them converted. But which 10 of them converted? You should also have that kind of data, so that next time you try to optimize your Google Ads, it actually helps in your, or I would say works in your favor. All right, the next thing is money where people are converting using geolocation. So yeah, so let's say I'm targeting the entire country, or over here I've given the example of, I believe, uh, US, or okay, so let's say I'm targeting the whole country to sell my t-shirts. Okay, initially I'm not aware from where my audience is and stuff like that, so I target the whole country. Okay, very easy to target the whole country rather than going into the nitty gritty part of location. I believe everyone is already clear with how to use location target. Is it? Is there someone who doesn't know how to use location for targeting through Google Ads? Okay, cool. I believe everyone already knows that. So yeah. So once you have that kind of data, let's say if I'm running ads for the entire country, once you start running your ads for, let's say, about it's been 2 months since you have started running your ads. Okay. So you will have very good data, you'll be eligible to see where your audience is coming from and where exactly your ads are not working. So once you have a good idea that, let's say, my ads are working majorly in the metro cities, or let's say your ads are actually, or you're actually getting more conversions in tier 2 or tier 3 cities, shockingly. So what you can do is you can shut off the metro areas and only target in the areas that actually your ads are working. Okay, again, this is one of the things you need to do in order to optimize your ads. Next, we all already spoke about this. I would really go ahead and select search network in the initial phase, because I would want only people with high intent to actually come and watch my ad and maybe lead to a conversion. But you can also select this initially. Okay, a lot of people tend to select this, but me personally, I don't tend to select this. But yeah, so if let's say you are not actually converting a lot of people through just the Google search ad, or I would say the Google search engine, then you can go ahead and select this. This will actually increase the horizon of your ads and get you more customers, or I would say more clicks, not more customers, I'm sorry, more clicks. And those clicks could or could not actually increase your conversions. So this is somewhat, I would say, more or A or B testing. Okay, you can actually start off with this if you want to, or start off without this again, but give it a try, or check maybe if it is working for you in a better case or not. Okay, next we have is just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Next, we have negative keywords. I believe everyone is pretty much aware about negative keywords. Scanning your search terms list to, I would say, or I would say, helps you remove all the things that are not actually working out for you. Can you guys help me with, some of the negative keywords that you should ideally add when you start running your Google Ads? So there are a list of keywords that you can use initially when you start running your Google keyword ads. So there are a lot of popular ones. So can you help me with that? Any one or two negative keywords that you think you should, initially, as soon as you start running ads, you add them. Let's say I'm into selling digital marketing courses. Okay, I'm into digital marketing courses. I'll tell you. I'll first. So it's a very I would say very common thing. Okay, just think of it as much more like uh, a common thing. Don't think of it from a Google ads perspective or digital marketing perspective. Just consider this as a normal case scenario. Okay, I'm running a digital marketing course and I want to run ads on Google, and let's say I want to now add negative keywords. Okay, I want you to understand that I'm selling digital marketing courses. I don't sell uh, free digital marketing courses. I don't sell discounted rates. I don't give out discounted rates. So what do you think should be my negative keyword over here in this case? So the question was pretty clear. Is there anyone who wants me to repeat the question? Okay, so the question is, let's say I'm running a digital marketing course and I want to use Google ads to advertise my course. Okay, and so yeah, so this is the basic thing. Now the question is, there are 2 points over here. I don't sell free digital marketing courses, nor do I sell courses on a discounted rate. So for you as a Google Ads expert, what do you think should be added in the negative keywords list? Any one or two words, whatever. Okay. Anyone else wants to give it a try? No, so negative. I'm talking about negative keywords. Negative keywords. The way negative keywords work is, if you put that into that list, whatever people are searching, if that word specifically includes that word, if that specific word is included in their search intent or in their keyword, your ads won't pop up. Did you guys understand? So do we understand first of all what negative keywords does? Is there anyone who wants me to explain what negative keywords does? No, SEO can't actually. You can't really have negative keywords in SEO, because SEO is majorly done through organic ways. Okay, so the way organic things work is very differently. Okay, first of all, I'll explain what negative keywords mean. Okay, so negative. So let's say. So I'll also first of all give me. Let's consider the question that I asked as a case study. Okay. So yeah, negative keywords. The best part about negative keywords is that it will whatever keywords that I add. Let's say in this case, what I'll do is yes, free. You can say free is the word. Okay, so free is the word that I'll use, and also like I said, discounted. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll add in my negative keyword list. I'll show you actually how to add. So here you can see this is the basic dashboard. Okay, so here I go to shared library, tools and settings. Under tools and settings I get negative keyword list. Okay, so here I go and click. Let's say I name the list as DM course. Okay, this was pretty odd. And under list I add free, and then I add let's say discounted. Okay, I save this, and the next time I want to run an ad, okay, I can use this list again. Okay, so this is how you create a I would say negative list keyword, and the next time you want to run an ad, you can actually use this as a, what should I say, metric to reduce your search keywords. Okay, so yeah, so I'll give you an example. If I add free and discounted as a negative keywords, then let's say Mohammed, you searched a keyword called digital marketing course, then my ads will be shown to you. But let's say Harshil, you search for a keyword called free digital marketing course, then my ads won't be shown. Okay, let's say Vivek, you searched for discounted keyword, discounted digital marketing courses. Okay, only also then my ads won't be shown because I've added it under the negative keywords. Okay, so this is how the whole negative keywords thing works. Okay, once you start running your ads, you will over here, actually I'll show you again. I'll take that question, Kumari, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so this is the basic thing. So over here you can see some of the basic things that you have been ranked for. Okay, so over here you can see negative keywords. So if I click over here, so it will give me a list of negative keywords. Let's say I click over here, I can manually add the negative keyword that I want to, or I can click over here and I can choose a list over here, which was DM course. Okay, and then this list would be added. Okay, just to give you guys an understanding about the whole thing, because I was told that you guys are pretty much aware about the whole thing. Okay, so yeah, so this is the place wherein you will get to see all the keywords that you that are actually working pretty great for you. Okay, let's say, so right now I won't be able to optimize it, but yeah, just to give you guys an example, this is the keyword that costed us a lot of money. We got a click-through rate of so and so, whatever it is, all the data is over here. If you think that certain words are not making sense for your business, you can always go and add it under negative keywords list, and that would be added under negative keywords. And hence, if somebody searches for that keyword, that specific word in the whole search term, let's say I add free as a negative keyword, so what would happen is if somebody searches for resume writer service, then my ads will pop up. Let's say if somebody searches for free resume writer service, then my ads won't pop up. Okay, is that clear? Yeah, it's like excluding a list. I won't say a list, a word. You just add a word, and then whenever that word pops up in the search term of anyone who is searching, even if it pops up in between, or let's say initially or at the end of that thing, even if that is the case, then your ads won't be shown. Actually, why we have to give negative, we have to give it because so that let's say I'm selling digital marketing courses, but I don't offer free digital marketing courses. So what will happen is people will search for free digital marketing courses. They'll see my ad, they'll land up on my page, and they'll then notice that I'm not actually selling free courses, so they'll just bounce back. So that is a loss of money, or loss of, I would say, bounce rate, whatever it is. Okay, so that is the reason we use negative keywords. Is that clear, Kumari? Does that answer your question? Not to save money, I would say. To save money is one aspect. To save money, to increase conversions, to reduce the bounce rate. Basically the whole idea of Google. If you guys have to, I would want you guys to answer this question. Okay, if you guys have to state what is the one thing Google is supposed to do. Okay, let's say what is the thing that Zomato is doing. Okay, Zomato orders, I mean, delivers food from the nearby restaurant if you order it through your phone. Okay, so that is the goal. So what do you think, what is the goal of Google? What exactly does Google do? I would want you guys to try it, or type it. So what is the main purpose of Google that it serves? More clicks? No, I'm talking about Google specifically. Let's say the main objective of Tata cars or Tata Motors is to create affordable cars, which is of which offers which is of great value, something like that. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, something like that. Like Vineet is saying that Google's main motto is to provide relevance information. Okay. Now, Nayan says Google provides the service from search results. No, search result is Google itself. Anyone else wants to give it a try? That what is the objective of Google? Intent customer. Okay. So just one line, if you guys can come up with. So yeah, so I'll give you the answer. So I think the main objective of Google is to provide relevant results to its users at the at a very less and taking a less amount of time. Okay, or I would say the quickest, in the quickest amount of time. Providing relevant results in the quickest amount of time is the objective of Google as a company. Okay, and over here, if you see, it is divided into relevancy. Relevancy means if you search about something, the answers that you will get through Google would be very relevant to you. And it is not that if you're searching something that it will pop up. The main core is your intent. Google is tracking your previous searches again. Okay, and due to those previous searches, it has a clear idea that you will like this, or you are actually looking at for this information. So that is how Google works. Okay, so just to make you guys understand, first try and understand how actually Google works. If you understand, so let's say if you, and to be honest, performance marketing or running Google ads is one of the highly paid jobs. So if I have to give you a clear number, so there was one of my guys, I mean, who used to work with me in my agency. He was actually in the hotel industry. He was at the same age as I am. He was in the hotel industry. He wanted to quit hotel industry and get into digital marketing industry during COVID. So he enrolled for a course with us, and so we got him placed with our agency itself, because he was very curious to learn, and he was a very determined guy. And initially we started off as 15,000 as his salary, because we were not able to pay a lot of money again. And just in a span of 2 years, I would say, during from that COVID time, I would say, to right now, last month or so, he got a package of 9 lakhs. Can you imagine that jump? Okay, the only reason was because he worked, he changed a few companies, and he was specifically stuck to this specific area, which is Google ads. And he's doing pretty well right now. His name is Ramchandra Barik. If you guys want to even verify, you can. And I am actually the live proof that that this actually happened with him. So yeah, this is, I would say, focus on learning more. as much as you can. And there are a few channels. If you want to, I'll let you know the channel's name. It's Surfside PPC. Yeah, so this channel, if you guys uh, go on YouTube, and if you search for his name, you'll come across some amazing videos. Okay, don't actually, I would say, rely on the older videos, because somewhere the other, the algorithm is updated. But this guy actually shares his experience very logically. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is one I would say. Apart from this, just follow SCM Rush on LinkedIn. On just keep on reading their blogs. This is what I do just to keep myself updated. And yeah, so handouts, I'll just I don't know how to share an handout. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, it's there. So I would share one thing with you guys. I would want you to use that as a checklist. I'll also use that as okay, I've shared it. I hope you guys can also use it. So yeah, please use this. So I'll just share my screen. I'll just check if I have it. And open it on this Google sheet. Okay, I have it. I'll just share my screen quickly and take you guys through it. Okay, so yeah, so I hope you can see my screen. So over here, I've actually come up with a few things that will help you while running your Google Ads. So yeah, search term audit, such as adding negative keywords, should be done every 72 hours. I'm really sorry, I've missed it, but yeah, it should be done every 72 hours. Okay, just add this thing again. I'm really sorry. I must have missed that out. But search thing. Okay, I'm really sorry. Like this. Okay, so yeah, so ignore that. Adding negative keywords to your unrelated search. You should add it every 72 hours. Adding long tail keywords, you should add it every 72 hours. This is, I'm talking about after you start running your ads. So this is more or less like a checklist for optimizing your ads after you start running your ads. Okay, so it has some quite useful details, and we keep on updating this time and again. We've shared it with a lot of people, and this actually helps even after you get into a job. So it has a lot of different things. Maybe budget, paycheck. You have to check it weekly. Yeah, so just even while going for interviews, if you prepare this, and let's say you have, okay, oh, I'm not actually come across that YouTube channel, but yeah, Surfside PPC, I have actually seen a few videos of him, and yeah, I can actually tell you that he is a good person, with good information. But yeah, so yeah, just to I think we are done. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me in terms of your career, maybe in terms of Google Ads or anything as such? You think that maybe I would be able to help you out with it? Give me 1 minute. Yeah, this is my LinkedIn ID. You can send me a request from that. So yeah, Mohammed Maktoum asked, who are potential customer for Google Ads? I would say, so there's this one notion that all businesses should be running Google Ads, or all businesses should have digital marketing presence, which I think is not true at all. there are some businesses that don't really need you know that kind of strong digital marketing presence. Just a basic website and a Google My Business page will do for them. But yeah, the question, just to answer your question, who are the potential customer of Google Ads? Mostly I would say B2C brands and keywords. And if your business is into selling products or offering services, then you should opt for Google Ads. Okay. There are you know various debates that if you should go for Google Ads or not, but I think you should the whole process should work like this. Okay, you should have a very strong SEO team who is constantly working on the SEO metrics, following up daily. And then we should also have a team which runs Google Ads. But Google Ads should come a few, I would say, even I would say a month after you set up your SEO team and your action gets into place. Okay, once you have that, let's say if your SEO is in place, uh, a month or so, whatever it is, you have started gaining some basic traction, and then you start running your Google Ads. That combination is going to be a killer combination. It is more or less like, I would say, if you guys watch cricket, a left-hand batsman and a right-hand batsman. So it will completely, it actually, in terms of cricket, I would say it can actually destroy the opponent. And in terms of Google Ads, if you not Google Ads specifically, in terms of digital marketing, if you use these two things initially, it is going to be a boom for you. Obviously, you need to have a very strong brand identity, and you will have to have a good social media presence. People should know you. Initial purposes, you should have a lot of customer reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, we are assuming that that's already there. But I would say majorly focusing on SEO and Google Ads together is going to give you far fetch better results. Anyone else has a question? SEO versus PPC, which is the best area to do creative things? Definitely PPC. SEO, somewhere or the other, Google has a lot of influence in that. In terms of, I'm talking specifically about Google over here, because I'm assuming that when you say SEO, the search engine over here is Google. So in terms of Google, I feel SEO is plain. Not really, but SEO you won't really get to, so I would say there are about 200 and 250 different points if you want to cover SEO. Okay, so 200 to 250 points. But out of those 250 things, only I would say about less than 50 are in your control. Okay, as you know, you can do some things manually. Less than 50. The rest are automatically done. Google takes data from here, there, all those things. Even though it is considered a part of SEO or SEO points, but yeah, SEO is more or less like you don't really have that kind of control in it. Yeah, PPC you can. FB ads or the Google ads, which give it completely depends on your audience. Let's say on Google ads, the best part is, why do we go on Google first of all, and why do we go on Facebook? The clear answer is, if I go on Google, it clearly means that I want to buy something, or if I'm researching about something. Okay, I don't go on Google to just to time pass or to scroll. A few people might be doing that, I'm not very sure. But on Facebook, what I do is I normally surf. I go and check out my friends, what they are doing, something like that. Some funny videos. And in between that, selling is actually a very big task versus Google ads, where the intent is actually buying. Okay, let's say, I'll give you a comparison. Let's say Boat. Okay, Boat wants to run a Google ads and a Facebook ad. Okay, they run a Facebook ad. In between, they're scrolling something funny or something trendy, and an ad pops up. Okay, in terms of Facebook, I'm talking about that ad. The chances of that ad being skipped is much higher. But versus somebody, if you're running ads on Google in terms of selling your earphones, okay, over there, if if you go to see people, what they go and normally searches, buy Boat earphones, or buy earphones, something like that, or where to buy earphones from, something like that. Okay, so the intent is much higher in Google. So the answer I would say would be Google. Anyone else has any questions? Any kind of question related to your career, what doesn't matter. I've actually taken a lot of interviews myself. So yeah, if you want to ask any questions, uh, maybe how does a corporate interview work, what are the parameters they see or check. Also, one advice, if I could give you, is, let's say if you're young, okay, and if you decide to work in this industry itself for a very long time, okay, um, and if you have a certain dream company in your mind. So let's say for me the dream company was Google. Okay, so what I did was, whatever activities that I wanted to achieve, let's say I want to get into Google, whatever companies that I went through would be certainly related to what Google is doing. Okay. So Google, I would say, is a very lame example. Let's say Amazon. Okay. Amazon Marketplace is the dream company that I have. So what I'll do is, initially in my career, I'll try and get into e-commerce companies itself. Okay. Maybe some small scale companies, maybe some D2C companies, maybe some companies that have just started. And from there, I would start making progress. I'll work over there for a year or so, whatever it is, gain some experience. So that is the process how it will work, because a few people, like I would say me specifically, I would say I haven't really done my MBA, or we are not as lucky as some other people. Yeah, I'll answer that. So in order to do that, what we yeah yeah so I'll answer that again. So yeah, so in order to actually reach your dream company, you should always have a career path wherein you have dealt or you have been with companies that are somewhere the other handling the same thing. Okay. So yeah, Vivek has a question: is how can we get a job in the initial stage? Okay, so yeah, so we need to understand there are three key aspects when it comes to getting a job. The first is knowledge, second is experience, and third is going to be your certification. Okay, knowledge, experience, and certification. Knowledge, I believe you guys are going to get ample amount of knowledge through this course itself. Okay, so the knowledge won't actually be a boundary or a barrier for you to get a job. Next comes experience. So like you said, initial stage, so you won't really have any kind of experience over here. Lastly, it is certification. So certification, I believe Kallada Academy is already going to provide you with some certification. Okay, so let's say we have knowledge and we have certifications. Now the thing is experience. Okay, so if you don't have experience on papers, how do you actually convince someone that you can actually get the job done? So the answer to this is, you build a portfolio. And how do you build a portfolio? That is again a challenge. So what you do is, initially you try and take up some freelance projects, and you do it for free of cost. Okay, you take up some freelance projects. Let's say you try and get in touch with some agency. You'll have to work a lot in this case. Okay, I'll give you a very good idea how to do this. Go and search for digital marketing agencies in India. Google this. You'll get a list of, at least I would say, somewhere around 300 to 400 different agencies. You'll even get their email IDs through their website. Just email them. Yeah, I'll talk about that again. So yeah, so just email them about your interest, that you have learned all these things, and you can actually do a freelancing thing or even a part-time job over there for free of cost, just to learn. So once you get that learning, that would actually help you get a job later on, because you'll have something that you have proven. So I would say, rather than going for an internship, because people don't really value internships, try and get some kind of freelance projects. Okay, so maybe um, do or consult some agencies, or try and get in touch with people. Somewhere or other it will work out. It will take a lot of time, but yeah, this is the whole, I would say, process. Even if you don't really have a strong marketing background, this might help. I would say this has actually helped a lot of people who I have trained. What types of questions will they ask in interview? So it depends on what kind of job you're applying for. If it is only concerning Google ads, as if you have applied as a Google ads expert, or PPC specialist, then they will only ask you things which are very basic in nature. And the things that I just taught you about Google ads, a few more advanced things. Like, let's say, if why after running your ads, what are the things that you will take into consideration? So all these things you need to come up with, and you already need to know all these things. Okay. Also, let's say you're going for an interview for an agency. Okay. So try and already know what or who their clients are, one, and do an basic research on them. Okay, so these are the keywords that they already rank for. This is the place that they already rank for. Use Uber Suggest, use Ahrefs tool, the free one, of course. Okay, so do a very thorough research on the, let's say, I'm talking about agency. If you're actually interviewing at a company, then do a thorough research on their specific brand or their website. Okay, just make sure that you look curious, that you don't go just unprepared. You actually have something concrete, you have some numbers, show them that you are interested, and that would actually help you get a job. Relationship between social media and Google ads, somewhere or other it is related, I would say, because if you just run Google ads and if you don't have a social media present at the stage we are today, then it won't really result into a conversion. Okay, the reason is people cross verify things. Okay, even if I see a Google ad, amazing ad, an earphones from, let's say, XYZ company, and if I just go and Google about or I would say go to check their social media pages and they don't even exist, I won't buy from them. So they go hand in hand somewhere or the other, I would say. So Nayan is asking career opportunity for Google ads or Facebook ads or SEO, which has better scope. So it depends on what you want to do. SEO, I would say, somewhere or other in the future, not in the future, I would say a few years down the line, most of the people that hire in SEO, they want somebody who has done technical or who has technical knowledge, let's say basically into engineering and stuff like that. So Google ads and Facebook ads, much more people from the commerce background or arts background would be preferable. But if you genuinely have an interest in Google ads and Facebook ads, performance marketer, as a performance marketer, they have the highest salary. I mean, even for a basic, in metro cities, I'm talking about, um, the basic salary or average salary for a fresher is somewhere around, I would say, 22,000, which is, again, let's say you have just graduated or stuff like that. Earning 22,000 is, it's a huge amount of money. I'm just talking about the lowest, or I would say even the lower average. It can go good, good to good level. Obviously, agencies offer that, but they also make sure you work a lot. So yeah, so Google or Facebook ads, I would say preferably. I have experience in SEO, but I don't have experience certificate. It is okay not to have experience certificate, because to be honest, a certificate doesn't really hold value if it is free of cost. For example, a lot of people say that I'm Google digital marketing certified, I'm HubSpot certified. It doesn't matter, because these certificates are available for free of cost, and even the answers to these questions that you normally get are there, in the uh, I would say available free of cost. So yeah, so just for certification purpose. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I actually clicked something else. So yeah, have you guys? Do you guys know, first of all, what Coursera is about? Coursera. Have you guys heard about it, or anyone knows about Coursera? Okay, cool. Okay, Mohammed. So yeah, so I'll show you how to actually get a free certification from Coursera. It is not actually a very great thing, but yeah, I'll show you my profile again. So I'll show you how actually I made a good mark into this. So yeah, so on my profile you can see, so I have some kind of certifications over here. So yeah, so basically if I click over here, so you can see this is the certification I'm talking about. And over here you can see I'm this certified and stuff like that. You can always talk about it. Obviously, like I believe who's the one who asked the question? Uh, Kumari. Okay, so yeah. So I'll show you. So these certification you can easily do on my profile. If you go to see, I have search engine optimization certificate, strategic management certification, and so all these are from Coursera, and it is all for free of cost again. So I'll show you how to get them. So yeah, so first of all, you go ahead and create an account on Coursera. Okay, so once you do that, you'll be landed over here on this page. Next thing you do is you go ahead and search for anything that you want to in terms of your specific course. Let's say digital marketing. Let's say this digital marketing and e-commerce. Okay, so click that. Okay, so here I can see digital marketing and e-commerce professional certificate is there. Okay, which normally would cost, what is the cost? Okay, so yeah, so the normal cost is 1000 rupees. Okay, so this is pretty lower in nature, but yeah, if I have to show you this, it is somewhere around 3000 rupees. Okay, so yeah, 3800 rupees, somewhat, just for a month or so course. But yeah, how to get it for free? Okay, so here you can see financial aid available. You click on that. Once you click on that, okay, you get to select whatever course you want to. Let's say, in this case, search engine optimization. You go to continue to the application, and they're saying that this is the amount, okay, per month. But I don't want that. I want to go ahead with this specific course. Okay, introduction. I click on next. Okay, once I click on next, a form comes up. You need to just fill out the information over here. The basic information would be, college degree. Choose annual income as 0 always. Employment status, I would say select student for that matter, because they normally select them. Okay, and over here you can in some basic details about, why should you get an paid for. Okay, next you click on this. I've reviewed my information and stuff like that. Scroll down, and basically you apply for a financial aid, and it gets approved. I would say 100% of the times I've seen it get approved. And once it gets approved, it would take about nothing more than 15 days for you to start with the course. Okay, you just have to complete the course, and after you complete the course, you will get through the certification. So if you have any doubts about the certification, even after this thing, I'll be able to help you out with that. Okay. Digital marketing executive in fintech startup is a good idea to work over MNC. Yeah, I would say in early stage, it is a very good idea to work at a startup. The reason is you'll have ample of opportunities to learn. In an MNC, trust me, it is very, very narrowed down. So whatever work you do, it is very narrowed down. So even as a, so the term that we used to be called was a digital marketing manager, but I used to only handle Google ads, and even that for a very specific region. So my learning, I would say learning horizon actually got very narrowed down, and one of the reasons that I left the job. Okay, so a fintech startup any day going to be better. What will be the future of SEO? SEO doesn't matter. I mean, apps are coming these days, so app store optimization would be a future of. If you are saying, maybe apps take over in the future, then app store optimization, which is as good as doing SEO for apps, that would take over. So again, that is a great field to learn. App store optimizer, a part of digital marketing again. Are any tools to maximize social media reach? Not exactly. I would say there are tricks. Okay. So in terms of Instagram, I would say, one trick is, as soon as you post something on Instagram, you use the hashtags. You just go and, search, click on those hashtags, and then whatever the recent posts are, you interact with them, maybe comment on them, or maybe like their post, and so they will like it back. Other thing would be, as soon as you post on social media, you share it with your friends, or some group that you're a part of, and ask them to like or comment, because in the initial 1 hour period, if it gets more traction, then it will expand. So the virality part of thing, when we say viral, the content has gone viral, the initial 1 hour actually decides a lot. So in that initial 1 hour, you need to make sure that it has already got a lot of likes, comments, or stuff like that. Okay. Uh, okay, great. So yeah, I guess the session was helpful to you guys. If you guys have any questions at any point of time that you think I might be able to help you out with, I'll be happy to help you. Okay. You can do unlimited. I've done all of them for free of cost itself. So I've done about 7, I think. How to get a job for Google Ads or a we need for free as a fresher. How to get project. So yeah, so like I said, try and get some freelancing projects if possible. Okay, I mean, consult some agency, tell them that you are very eager to learn and you will learn for free, whatever it is. If you get that kind of experience, then you can actually go for a job, or I would say they will be happy to pay you more. So consider this as a thing that why should someone hire you? First of all, I mean, what is that you will bring on table that none of the other candidates will? If you are able to prove that, only then you will be hired. Okay, so you should be able to tell them that yes, I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to do that, I've already done this, I've already done that, whatever it is. So keep your knowledge up to date and keep your knowledge bar up to the mark. One, know a lot of about their company, know a lot about the interviewer first of all, and then talk about things that actually attract them. So yeah, to the company page, you'll also be able to come to a conclusion that what their motto is, or their company goal is about. Try and talk more about that. So once you do that, that is going to all help. I would say there are a bunch of things that might help. But yeah, so try and take things here and there, from here and there. I'm sorry. And also one more thing I would say is, even if you fail in a lot of interviews, don't think that don't consider that as a failure. Because myself personally, after I left, I would say I had to leave my last job before Amazon. So that company got shut down due to some compliance issues. It was into pharmaceutical goods, and they were back in UK. So that company got shut down, and I was home for a period of 3 months. And in this 3 month period, I gave about more than 30 interviews. I failed each of them. I would say, you know almost 95% interviews I failed. I only got selected in 3 companies. The first was a agency, second one was Bewakoof.com, and third one was Amazon Prime Video. Obviously, I chose Amazon because of obvious reasons. It had a good brand name and stuff like that. But yeah, even if you fail, it doesn't matter. As and when things will start working out, it takes some time. I was not really into teaching. It had just been in the past 2 years, since COVID, I had got a lot of time at home, so I started teaching again. And it is a good way of, I think, sharing information. And I hope you guys actually got some information through this session, and it was useful for you. Thank you, Mohammed. So yeah, I hope I get to see you guys again sometime soon, and let's be connected on LinkedIn. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye. Thank you.